What is up, everybody? So, I haven't made a video in a little bit. It's been hectic and crazy, but this may break down why it's kind of hectic and crazy. We're going to talk about how I feel Magic the Gathering is one of the worst significant others in the world. So, you could look at that logic like I am, or you could just say he's full of it, but here, bear with me. So, again, this is going to go both ways from my perspective of owning a shop and seeing what the players are going through and what I'm going through as well. So what I'm thinking is, boom, okay, so Dominaria back in our face. So at this point, Dominaria comes out. We're super excited. We're glad to be with this person. It's a solid set, and it shows that there's change. It shows that things are getting better. Right when we were giving up on everything, thinking Standard wasn't going to be that good, and this person wouldn't be good for us, we all of a sudden had hope. We had a gleam of hope. Dominaria was doing what it needed to do. It was very exciting, and we knew things could only get better. And I felt the same way, watching everyone else feel the same way. And this is where things just start getting trippy, in my opinion, because they announced Battle Bond, and this is what we think is going to happen with Battle Bond. But the kicker of all of it is Dominaria, at that time, they stopped printing Dominaria. I had about 2 to 3 weeks of every distributor saying not in stock. And I'm like, this makes no sense. You guys just released it. How am I not able to buy it the week of release on top of my pre-orders? So you feel like this person, the game, is playing with you the wrong way. It's mixed signals. We were just having a great time with you, looking forward to all this and all that, and all of a sudden, you got something else thrown at me that I don't necessarily want, and we're thinking it's going to be nothing but trash. But in the long run, we realized that Wizards purposely made Dominaria go out of on purpose, so that void needed to be filled by Battle Bond. Granted, at the time, there's other things we can do together. We can do modern EDH. A lot of these things never go away, but we're looking at mainly the standard crowd and the guys that play draft, and let's just come out and have fun. So we want to have fun, but Battle Bond, we think it's going to be this dumb rip-off thing, and a lot of people still to this day don't really like Battle Bond, but honestly, it came out and people loved it. I don't know many people I personally interacted with, and that's a lot of people that didn't like it because it helped them in outside groups. So while we got this thrown at us and we were going to be very ungrateful, we were like, okay, it's a small thing. We can't get Dominaria right now. We can't get the best that we were getting. We're getting Battle Bond instead. We'll take it. And it was fun. People liked showing up. People liked doing the 2-player thing, you know. A lot of the cards worked good in a lot of people's commander decks. I don't know about modern. I can't recall. I just know commander, they liked a lot of the legendary cards. But at the end of the day, we were wrong. We were, my group at least, and people in my town were wrong, because anywhere that was running it, people were going to it. So that being said, the signals were there that things were changing for the better, but then, no offense to you, you kind of threw something at us that, even though we're okay with, we're on a separate path now, because we were going down the right path, but this is something that's not what we're used to. So we had to move on. It got boring, and Dominaria came back, and we were fine, and we were okay with stuff, and then this asshole shows up and tells us that we can drink during Magic tournaments. Now let's break it down. I'm not gonna break it all the way down because it'd take forever, but it's not that Magic said it's okay to drink. It basically, that's what everyone thought, okay? When players saw the tunnel vision, and some of the owners, they were like, we're looking to get our liquor license already now. And I'm like, holy fucking shit, you don't get it. You really don't. My brother owns a restaurant. My grandpa owned it before. I know the hassles of liquor license when he moved to a different one. It's a big deal. It's really serious. You got to think about, we're dealing with alcohol here, that we deal with DUIs, people dying and stuff like that. This is a serious matter. So you have to understand, it's not something you just fill out a form and then you could just sell beer and alcohol at your store. And here's the other kicker: if you plan on selling other things, Pokemon, HeroClix, Destiny, Vanguard, Pokemoth, Dragon Moth, whatever games are out, they usually say alcohol cannot be part of it. So technically, if you were able to do that, you would only be Magic only, but that's not what it meant. It meant that non-sanctioned events, you could do like draft and drafts. They said they weren't going to back bars and lounges, but basically, if you go to Roundtable, you could kind of do it. I think there's a way to get around it as long as you put an age restriction. I think you could still do PPTQ like a Roundtable and have pictures of beer. I mean, it's whatever. But this was just this mere distraction between what we were going through here, and we were trying to move, and then all of a sudden, something got shined on us that could it make it better for us or not better. To be honest, it doesn't matter. It's been months after it's happened and no one cares now. So once people actually got to read the fine print and understand what was going on, it's whatever. And again, follow with me on this bouncing ball right here. It's the fact that this is what's been going on from when Dominaria came out, where we saw, hey, Magic's getting this pickup that we didn't have for a long time. It was like dead. The standard scene was dead. So follow me with why we're going through all these things and where these stages are with our relationship with this game and the player base. But that being said, this kid that wants to drink, it's not going to happen. But Dominaria came back in all its glory. We were happy. We were able to keep it stocked. People were happy to see it back. Drafts, people wanted to come and draft again because drafts were just blah. People were tired of Exelon drafts. I don't blame them. It was very repetitive and boring. But right when everything got well, all of a sudden leaks started coming out for M19. Now, M19 was a huge deal because number one, we're going back to core sets. Number two, we're gonna get reprints. It's a core set. So now you're throwing stuff at us that we had something really good, and now we're going to better, but it is kind of a reflection of the past and things as they used to be. And that is a strong thing. And nostalgia is a thing that we talk and learn about, that it jacks up our pheromones and all kinds of stuff. Not pheromones, endorphins in our brain to remember the good old days. And M19 brought us back to thinking about the core, so we're going back on looking at how things used to be, even though we are moving forward. And I think it's a great move by them, to be honest with you. But far as us trying to figure out this relationship, it's a bit confusing. So we had it come out. Great success. Great. People loved it. But again, it's a core set again. So core sets are there to kind of jumpstart the next thing. And while this did come out and we're having the core set and people are liking it, people are wanting to do more. But at this point with the core set and Dominaria, you're thinking, hey, we're going to be able to get standard going now for sure. I haven't had a standard tournament in forever because no one wanted to build standard. And when I would talk to certain people, some groups, some stores can get a standard crowd because that's what they appeal to. They may not get no modern crowd because they don't appeal to that. If you focus on one, the other takes the wayside, and that's just the way it is. It's very hard to be like, I'm gonna do everything, because when you do and you go there and you see it, it's like, wow, these guys are usually packed for draft, but then you show up on like their standard day and there's 4 people. And this is everyone across the board. I mean, it's not like it's a secret. It's not like other players that we all share don't tell us what's going on at other places. So we all know we're all suffering from similar things from similar areas or different areas. So at this point, we're like, okay, we're happy you're here, but let's get standard on board. I think I could get people to draft you. But it's almost like the whole, what do you want to eat? and the argument goes for 10 to 15 minutes while we're both starving. And right now it's like, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? And then all of a sudden it's like modern season comes up. So it's hard when we're sitting here going like, what do you want to do? M19. What do you want to eat right now? But then it's like, hold up, it's modern season right now. Pump your brakes. Let's try going about this another way. But it's like, wait, we just got here. We got to this set that people were happy with, and now we're going to modern season. Now, granted, we can't predict. I mean, you can predict, but we knew it was going to come. But at the same time, that's going to hurt standard play, because now as a store you have to focus on modern play. So now to make you happy, I have to focus on the other side more than this side. So modern has always been cool to me. It's nothing crazy. I never really hold modern tournaments, but I always carry modern product because I understand it, the way people like to use it, and I understand why they use or play it. I should say why they play it compared to standard. You know, modern is forever, and there is still ban lists and stuff like that. But that being said, there's EDH and all that stuff. But modern tournaments are now the season right now. Those are all the PPTQs, Grand Prix are focusing on modern. So with that being said, we were building up this whole new thing in the relationship, and we thought we were going with standard. You know, we're about to go back to what it was, because back in the day, all I did was focused on standard. Because if you check my emails, Wizards of the Coast, left and right, sends you emails about how to do drafts, standard this, standard that. You have to remember, we have open houses we do for standard. We have game days for standard. We have, store championships for standard. We have league for standard, and I want to say there was one more. League, store championships, open house. God, I can't think. I swear there's one more, and it's just, I'm forgetting it right now. But there is a lot of love that they push forward to standard. You have to remember, went back from tokens to FNM promos now. So people want promos again, and they did that again because they want you to play standard. Once it hits the secondary market, they don't make nothing off it. And, you know, their big thing for them is making money on the now, and the now is what is out. So when things are not buying, when Hour of Devastation stopped being printed because it was having such bad sales, that was a bad idea. Or a bad thing, I should say. It's just people getting bored, and it's when relationships get like this, you got to spice things up. And I can't even go back to older things that maybe they would like that are not old, but from the same blocks. Maybe we'll try to draft something different. People didn't. There were you know, niches. There were one and dones. People just wanted to get the masterpieces and things like that. But the Hour of Devastation, it's crazy. It got scooped up, gone. It's out of print anywhere because they have so many, and companies ordered so many that it's almost pointless for them now to even carry it. So that's bad. And it was like barely a year, I believe, that it's been out, and that never happens. So things were starting to get shaky for everyone looking at Magic. Granted, this doesn't mean Magic's going anywhere. This doesn't mean Magic's, you know, dying or whatever, but it does show that things are changing, and people are showing it with their pocketbooks. Is it a pocketbook? I should say pockets. Showing with their pockets and their wallets that, you know, it's a whole different breed. And you know, what do you want, Wizards? You know, what do you want us to do? What do you want us to focus on? And, you know, with them, it's standard. And like I said, tons of emails about standard, never really about modern. They might talk about Commander coming out, something like that, but it's like, okay, so I see what you're interested in, but now we're on modern season, so it's like, okay, I gotta kind of shift it, right? But then I have people that M19 is the big hot stuff. I thought that's out, but now people want to draft Dominaria. Okay, so while this is going on, I am getting requests when I'm doing drafts. Hey, instead of M19, can we do Dominaria? Fine. But then I'm like, what? Why though? And it's like Dominaria is a better set to draft, and I understand that. I get that. It sucks because you always want to keep moving on and pushing the next new thing. It's a bad thing when a set is out and there's a better set that was before for drafting or something like that, because now you have to have me keep more stock in for Dominaria for drafting. But then M19, there are people that still want to draft M19 because they still want to pick through and get the cards that they want to pick up. But at the same time, people still want to buy packs, singles, but it's just, does it flow as good as Dominaria for drafting? No. And I've seen this before. I remember during the Theros block, I believe Theros was probably, it was, they did it differently at that time, but I know a lot of people liked when it was just focusing mainly on Theros and like one other set with it. Not when it came to where you got a bunch of Born of the Gods and Journey of the Nyx and all that. It just didn't flow as well. But this seems to, for people, they say they feel like opening packs, there's nothing but good playable draft cards in it. So then I'm just sitting here like, okay, alright, I'm just kind of trying to make you happy. Wizards, I'm trying to make you happy. And Magic, I'm trying to focus on Modern. But I do got people that want to draft still, so I got to throw in Dominaria now. So we're drafting Dominaria. We have League Nights. Standard Showdown. That's the fourth one. So we have Standard Showdown. We're doing the best we can, but we'll do it. We'll do it. We'll. It's all about you guys, and then I want to make sure you save money. But then Wizards Play Network, Wizards of the Coast Direct, I should say, they had all kinds of fuck ups during. It's like someone that you're like, why am I still with you? Why you're not? This is toxic. But they didn't like keeping up with selling direct, and that's fine. That's totally fine. That's up to them. But long as it didn't have any ramifications on stores and players. But that's the thing, it's gonna have huge ramifications. So, starting September 1st, no more Wizards Direct. Well, actually, no more Wizards Direct now. But starting September 1st, the prices are gonna go up. Now, I don't know about you, but for me to get people in the doors and meet new people, I had to, I always lowered prices, because that's how you get people in. Then when they meet you and talk to you, they realize, you're a cool guy, whatever. But that is the way to do it. And I'm able to do that because I picked a small, tiny location purposely for that, because I've seen guys getting bigger locations like I had before. And, it just wasn't smart, because you realize people want to throw everything in their stores when you need just what's right for your community and what's right for your player base. So if you want to serve your customers better, it's probably better if you do have a big store, put the right things on there that they want, but then you realize you have a lot more room than you thought. And that's always good, I guess, but you're paying for that. So for me, being able to sit about 30 people in my tiny place, but it's just the bare essentials in there, and people know it's a homey vibe. It's a real home vibe. Everyone knows you. We all get along. You're allowed to do whatever. Long as you're not offending anyone or hurting anyone, it's all love. But even with me doing all that, this still will hurt me, because I'm not making too much on selling boxes, and hopefully once everyone goes up, I can go up a little with them so it don't get too much effect. But the fact is, they are saying, how are we supposed to make up our money from our direct? I'm like, well, you probably laid off a whole department that you're not paying anymore. And then I've had people say, well, maybe they put those other people in other positions. If they're in other positions, those positions have already been filled, and there's no reason for them to have the position. That's on you as a business. So that's on you. When we're sitting here, we're in this relationship here, that's on you. You decided to go this route. You decide to take this pay cut, and you want me to cover your end. This doesn't seem healthy. It doesn't. Not at all. So with that being said, we're going to have to move on. Wizards is going to make it be higher for us because they can't make their extra money that they did. But here's the thing, they fucked up on so many orders. People were missing pre-release. I missed my own pre-release, but that was because of UPS. And I got very mad at my distributor, and they made it right, and I feel horrible because UPS paid no consequences for it, but they were all at fault when UPS was telling me they weren't. But eventually, my distributor made things right, and then on top of it, UPS sent me an email later on saying sorry, but it's like nothing was done, nothing. So that being said, I reached out to a lot of people. A lot of people said they were screwed up, but they go, Wizards of the Coast did it. So they're just overwhelmed, I believe, and this is what they did. They couldn't handle it, so they're basically taking this pay cut, but then they want us to make up for it. They're going to start charging boxes higher. I don't know how much difference is going to be. If it's going to be a few percentage up. I know Rudy from Alpha Investments said he thinks it'll be 2%, which shouldn't kill us, but at the same time, I think it'll be higher. But we will see. So we're going to be burning their money like crazy, basically. We have this going on where everyone's going to start fetching out more money. I know stores are already charging more for draft. I actually made my draft go higher because I'm the cheapest draft. But then to do what people wanted for payout, I realized I might as well just go up a little bit and pay more or give it more to payout. So with that being said, they the other stores are going up even higher above me. So I could still be considered the lowest, which is fine. But on top of it, now when you buy boxes, when you buy, drafts, I've always done 3 for $10 for a pack of Magic, like if you're doing a draft or something like that, because it just worked, and it was fine. And the money I'm still making money off it, but I don't need to make more because I'm not trying to sit there and live in a castle. I'm in a hut, and I'm able to do this for the local villagers. So this is what you do, You work with what this partnership and relationship has, and with what they give me, I make it work, and so we still have something left over, but we keep everybody happy. But at the end, while we're sitting here worried about money and worried about everyone, we're gonna push people away, Guilds of Ravnica is on approach. People are excited for guilds. I don't know how it's going to work. People are really hoping for Shocklands, which may be a thing. That'd be great. That's good for us. More boxes to sell. But again, if we're going up in prices, they got to pay more. And that's not good. So it's going to be a weird time. I just signed up for our pre-release to make sure we got it. And then our open house and all that fun stuff. But it's a trend of trying to keep up with this relationship with Magic, Wizards of the Coast, even your customers. It's this relationship I'm trying to keep up because you are changing so much and you want so much, and all at once, where we need to find a balance to make everybody happy, and that may never happen, but to me that's not a good relationship. And this is the feeling I have. I feel like you're in a really bad relationship, but you just can't get out of it. Now here's the thing, I don't know which one I am. I don't know if I'm the guy trying to get out of the headlock or the guy holding on hoping things will get better. Because granted, we've gotten some great times that have gotten better. But then there's times where I just want to flip over my case lines and be like, I'm done. Because I don't know how to work with this. I don't know how to make people happy with this. It's different. So far, trying to do Standard Showdown. We're trying to do, of course, League stuff. Then we got Modern. And then we got Draft. So there's a lot. Standard I'm only doing for Showdown because when I try to do Standard, no one wanted to build Standard decks. But then I do Draft, and then people on Draft Day are like, why aren't you doing Standard? And it's like, I can't figure it out. And that's the whole thing, is there's nothing to figure out. You just always roll with the punches and you keep it going. But it just seems like it's one of the most difficult relationships ever. And trying to keep it going is tough. It's very tough. And I don't care what any owner says. They're lying to you if they're going to tell you that it's a breeze, because it's not. Figuring out what your demographic wants. Every different store has different players that play certain things and don't play others. Some stores may have just a modern scene, no standard, and then vice versa for another store. One store may only do drafts and not even carry singles, but people still will go there because they like going there and they like drafting, but there's no singles there. Oh well. So, but then they get a modern guy showing up, they get a guy that wants to play standard, and then you can't make people happy. Then it's like, I'm just doing what I can do for the best for us. And that's what it all comes down to. We want to do what's best for both of us. Now with Wizard doing all these changes and us having to roll with them, we have no choice but to go with it if we want to carry it. The other choice is to not. But why? That's not... You're a card shop. Magic is the biggest card shop. You want to be part of this. And when the good is good, you want to be part of it and be excited and happy for it. It's just when it's bad, it could get bad. And right now, we're just coasting right now. I'm not saying it's great. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just kind of undecisive. We're at the point where I'm asking, in the relationship, what do you want to have for dinner tonight? And we both don't know what we want for dinner. But food sounds good, but we don't know what we want. And that's where I feel like we are with Magic. And that is the video, and that's where I've been thinking and stuck on. But we will see and go further and see if things can get better than they are and make sure they don't get worse than they can get. So thank you guys for watching. If you watched, for any HeroClix fans that watch Magic stuff too, I will have a HeroClix video talking about the spoilers. A lot of people can't make out who's all on the packages. I think I got them all, so I'll be able to tell everybody what's in that. But other than that, thank you for watching. Have a good night.